Matt and I have some very exciting news to share with you today. Would you like to tell them?
Go ahead.
August 1st was Matt's last day of employment. Well, his first day, let's see, how would I say that? August 2nd was his first day of employment for me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it ain't quit yet.
No, seriously. It was his first, August 2nd was his first day of employment of us together, being a team, full time.
Right.
So he got to leave the county, leave his job. We're so excited. It's kind of been a whirlwind.
Yeah, it has.
Matt said, I don't know how he said, I don't know how I had time to work. I've been so busy every day doing stuff. So it's been wonderful though so far.
Yeah, I didn't tell you this, and this is the truth. Last night or yesterday, I asked Katie. I said, I know I'm a week and a half into this, but what day is it? I didn't know. I didn't know what day it was.
Oh gosh, that's funny.
And I think it's just because I've been so busy and doing so many different things, and I've just lost track of what day it was. So that's cool, really.
That's funny. So we want to do this video to share the wonderful news with you, but also to answer some of the questions. We'll kind of talk about our plans and how we got to this, where we're at, this wonderful, of course we believe it come from God, this wonderful blessing that we're going to be able to work together and enjoy ourselves and enjoy being together as a family. But even when we mentioned it a few weeks ago, or maybe a month ago, or even last year, I was mentioning it on the Blind Pig and the Acorn, people said, oh, well, they had questions, which I totally understand. Oh, well, you need to be real careful, think about the future, things. So we were going to address some of those things first off. A lot of people said, oh my goodness, what will you do with insurance, without insurance? Well, that was of course, one of our first things we thought about when we're very cautious people. We're very cautious. So that was when we first started dreaming about Matt leaving his job, that was one of the first things we thought about. And we, of course, called our insurance agent and talked to him, talked to other people, and figured out pretty quickly that we could settle that issue. We could gain insurance, and it would be okay. It would be comparable to what we had. Everything would be okay there. So that was a big load off of.
Man, it's pretty much
off our brain. I don't know where I can't talk today. Yeah.
The insurance is very comparable and basically the same thing I was paying anyway.
Yeah.
Per month. So it's not like it's outrageously high or anything. It's a little different in some aspects of it, but until I looked into it, I was a little fearful of it too, but then once I saw, it's not that much different from what we've got now, and as far as what it costs per month, it's not that much different either, so should have done this a long time ago.
Yeah, so that was, as many of you guessed, that would have been one of our main concerns. Right. Another concern a lot of people brought up, and of course we thought about that too, was Matt's retirement. How would he just walk away from his retirement? Well, if he was really close to retirement, he wouldn't. We wouldn't walk away from it. But Matt's got started really late in life when it comes to working for the county or the state or all those kind of things, because he worked for himself for so many years. Right. So he would have to work into his 70s to actually benefit for a great deal of it. I mean, to get the full retirement from the state or from the county. So, and he's not wanting to work into his 70s, of course, not the kind of manual labor that he does. So that wasn't really an issue that we worried about. We will be able to, Matt can do the same thing I did. We have great financial advisors. When I left the folk school, my last job, I took my retirement with me from the state to there, and then I was able to just roll it over into a personal retirement account, an IRA, and so we have someone that manages that for us. So Matt will be able to do that same thing with the amount of years he does have there. So that wasn't an issue for us either. And if Matt had been like 2, 3, 4, 5 even years close to that date, that would have really played on our decision. Right. But he wasn't, because as I said, he just got started working for the man later in life.
Now I'm working for the woman.
Yeah, he's going to work for the woman.
Or the women.
Yeah, the women. He'll be helping. He's already helped this week in all kinds of ways. So another thing people say, well, what if? And I understand that. What if, we live in a precarious world YouTube could just be gone tomorrow. Or even if YouTube's not gone, we could be gone. You know, everything for some reason. Even if it was some weird technical glitch, if it was just all of you decided you didn't want to watch us anymore, if YouTube decided they wasn't going to pay people anymore, there's all those possibilities. So that's, of course, a real worry, real concerns, kind of like you're putting all your eggs in one basket. But we don't really feel like we are. We have a few other streams of income. And then since we're debt free, we don't, and we've accrued a nice emergency fund. Even if YouTube did go away tomorrow, we would likely, me and Matt both, get another job, but we wouldn't. It wouldn't be instantaneous. We wouldn't have to. We would have time to figure out what to do. And the other thing, in the place that we live, there is a high demand for jobs.
Right. There's so many people needing workers and can't get them. And people like us, we can do a myriad of things. I can learn about anything, I guess.
But yeah, with the skill set that me and Matt have, I don't doubt today that Matt could go and probably 4 or 5 different carpenters would say, yeah, can you start tomorrow? You know.
Or I could do it myself.
Or you could do it yourself.
I've got a general contractor's license here in North Carolina, so
yeah, Matt could go back into
I don't particularly want to do that,
no,
but I could.
But he could go back into that kind of business, and I think by dark he would have a job if he wanted it.
Yeah.
And I think for me the same thing. I have a vast experience when it comes to, you think of social media and computer technology, any kind of online work. I have years and years of experience, and I think that's in high demand pretty much anywhere. So I feel like I could definitely find a gainful employment. And then Matt and I, neither one are above any kind of job. So there's all kinds of jobs out there if you think about even fast food or something like that. If we decided we needed to do that. And because of God's great blessing on our lives, we were in a position where we wouldn't need to work full-time anyway to make it. I mean, you know, we wouldn't need to find the gain. I think we probably could, but we wouldn't need to find a comparable job to what I left or what Matt's just recently left. So we feel pretty good on that front too. And you know, we did enter this really cautiously. Like I said, we're cautious people, very cautious. Some people would probably say too cautious about lots of things, that we should expand our horizons or live on the edge a little bit more than we do. We're really, really cautious people.
I done plenty of that 30 years ago.
Yeah, Matt said he's been there, done that.
No, I don't need to do that
anymore. But when I first started YouTube, I had a real advantage. I've talked about this in some of the other videos, but I had an advantage that I'd already been doing the Blind Pig and the Acorn since 2008. So in 2020, we started the Celebrating Appalachia channel. So I already had like kind of what would you call it, supporters behind me. And so they kind of followed me to YouTube, and then I was blessed to find other ones. But I really quickly began to make money from YouTube. And so by 2021, I was able to leave my job. I left my job. And pretty quickly after that, Matt could have left his job. He really could have left it even then. Once we got everything paid off, he could have left it. So a little bit after that. But he could have left. But we were just cautiously watching and waiting and trying to make sure that everything was as it should be. And then Matt's boss was sick for a long time, and that was he didn't want to leave in the middle of something like that going on. Then they made Matt the boss after Justin sadly passed away, and so it was just a series of events where Matt kept feeling like he owed it to them to kind of stay and help out. So it took us a while to actually get here, but all the way we were very cautious and very prayerful too, praying that God would show us what was best for us.
And as far as money goes, as far as, we don't spend a whole lot. We don't have to have all the nice pretty things, and we don't have to travel a lot. We're homebody type people. And it just don't take a whole lot to sustain us. So, we're in pretty good shape, and we don't have to have, like I say, we don't have to have all that income in order to keep up what we have and to be happy about it.
It's kind of what Matt said about, he was kind of teasing but true about he'd done and lived on the edge and all that 30 years ago. It's kind of the same thing. It's a process, of course. When you're younger, you want all the stuff. When me and Matt was first married, you want the new cars, you want the boats and the whatever it is. You want all those things. For us, as we got older, we realized all that stuff didn't mean nothing.
No.
And in the last 5 years, we've really realized, what really matters is family. And, of course you want to be safe, and you want to have shelter, and you want to be fed. You want all those comforts, those needs, I would say, more than comforts. But other than that,
No,
we're pretty well set, we feel like.
Right. And then if something comes up that we do need, now we're in the position that we can just buy it for the most part. I mean, if it's something that it's big, and if we have to, we can save for it because we're not spending all our money on mortgages and car payments and all that stuff. So we could quickly save money if we needed to, as long as this keeps going. And it looks like for the foreseeable future it will.
We hope so. Yeah. Yeah.
So there's always that going for us anyway. It don't take a whole lot for us to make us operate, does it?
No. And we've been so blessed with YouTube, with all of you, and then the support that generated for our cookbook. So our cookbook has done so well, mine and Jim Cassidy's. So that's another avenue that kind of opened up, that what would that offer? Could we do other things like that? Of course, people have been asking since pretty much 2020, would I do t-shirts and those kind of things, and I have all the designs. I just have to figure out the last missing piece, and I've just not had time to do that. Hopefully, again, Matt would help with that. He'd be able to help in so many ways, and it's kind of like we were getting to the point where if Matt didn't come home, then I just needed to hire somebody else, and so that didn't make sense either. If I was going to do that, why wouldn't I hire my love here, lovey-dovey, right? Yeah. So that's another thing. God's just blessed us so much.
I don't know if I should be thankful or scared.
Scared.
Okay.
No, thankful. You should be thankful. So me and Matt never dreamed that we would achieve this. Never. No. We kind of started dreaming about it. We never even thought about it. It was just just not even in our thought process, because we just assumed we'd always be in debt. And like Matt said, even before, we didn't spend money all the time, but we did have debt. We had car payments, and we had mortgage and things like that. Tuition for the girls, yeah. But it was when we took the Dave Ramsey class, when we, at first we were just focused on getting out of debt, but then gradually we began to see, well, if you didn't owe anything, then we were thankful. Matt had his same job then, had a good job. I had a good job. We were thankful for our jobs, but would you need to work? If would there be a day? Would it be possible to retire early? Would it be, all those thoughts kind of started percolating then, like, well, if you were out of debt, you wouldn't be beholden to the job as much. Could you work part-time? Could you take some, all those thoughts started, is probably when we first started dreaming about it. And that was in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, about then.
It's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah.
We were quite cautious to go from then to now, so that's, 6 years?
Yeah, and God, with God's blessings, blessed us so much. And with all of your help, of course, all of your help. Which I used the word retirement, and that's not actually what we've done. We've not retired, neither one of us. It's just being able to do the work that you really enjoy, that really brings you fulfillment. And being a YouTuber, if you are a YouTuber, you know that. And if you don't, I would explain to you, it's a very hard job. It looks like it's very easy, but there's so many moving parts to it. There's of course, us sitting here talking now, but after that, there's the editing. There's the thinking of everything you want to say. There's all the different, if it's a video where I'm cooking or something like that, there's all the different shots and all the different things you got to think about. Editing takes up a lot of time and is a very time-consuming process. Then there's kind of the managing all of it, making sure about the channel, answering comments, getting back to people, answering questions. So it is a very busy occupation.
It's a 7-day-a-week job.
Yeah,
it ain't like a get up and first thing in the morning and go to work kind of job, but it's at different parts of every day. You're doing some aspect of this YouTube thing. You're either editing, or like she said, or some part of it you're having to do, and it's 7 days a week. Sometimes it's at night, sometimes it's first thing in the morning, sometimes in the middle of the day, sometimes it's more than once a day.
Yeah. So it's definitely, we're not like retired, we're gonna, go
We're
golfing or something.
We just kind of changed jobs a little, or I did.
Yeah.
Just went from one thing and just fell right into the other. But it's something that's more enjoyable because it's at home and with her, of course. And doing what you want to do as opposed to what someone else wants you to do. So that's to me, that's worth way more than money. To be able to do that, and also to be able to make a living at it, but to be able to do things your own way on your own time is priceless.
Yeah, that's the blessing.
Right.
In lots of ways, when I left my job in 2021, I immediately started working harder than I had worked at a full-time job.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so, like Matt said, it's all on your shoulders, all the different aspects of it. But what joyous work to be able to do it, basically focusing on my family and focusing on Appalachia that I love. It's going to get to a point where I can say I've spent more of my life celebrating it than not. I'm not there yet, but I'm probably I'm going to get close someday anyway. But I really love that, to be able to focus on the wonderful people, the food, the culture, the music, all those things of Appalachia, to be able to just do that every day. I'm so blessed. God has just blessed us so much, and we're so thankful. So now that we've told you a little bit about the why and the how and how that's all going to work, what does that mean on a day-to-day basis? What is our plans? What does that mean? We have so many plans. So far, Matt's not really, we've had plans and they've all got sidetracked by different things so far, but we're hopeful that'll all straighten itself out. But we want to do more videos, of course, Matt and I together. Maybe we can go on trips, maybe we can go fishing, maybe, talking about fishing and hunting and things like that. For many years, Matt's been so tied to work that he's primarily only been able to focus on deer hunting. Is pretty much it. Maybe a little turkey hunting here and there, but not much. But hopefully that means he's going to be able to hunt more, and fish more. And both of those is going to equal helping out the family, because that'll be providing more of our food. So we're really, really excited about that. I know Matt is.
Oh,
yeah, really excited. And hopefully we can share some of that. I hope that we'll be able to travel, not in the way of travel. We're not interested in going to Europe or anything like that. But I hope we'll be able to travel more for the channel. So maybe it's that I go to West Virginia to interview somebody, to talk to somebody. Maybe it's that even if it's not that far, maybe we just ride over the mountain, to Rabun County, Georgia or something like that. But Matt can be there to go with me or to assist me in any way that I need him to. So I'm hopeful that it's gonna increase videos like that over time. We're also, of course, excited about what it'll mean for our garden. Matt, I think, has already been planning and scheming about rearranging things, and he'd have more time to do that. Even if we left it exactly like it is, it would be great that we'll both be here thinking about next spring to really get things in order, or even this winter to get things the way we want them to be. Maybe we can finally tackle the floor of the greenhouse and get that under control. You've got to think about the steps on the bank. It was okay the first part of the summer climbing up and down the bank, but as it went on, it got old, and especially once stuff grew up. So now you're not just climbing up a nice clear bank, you're fighting through the weeds. So maybe we can work on that. Lots of things like that I know will make a huge difference. Matt had such a demanding work job. I mean, when anybody's is, when you spend 40 plus hours away from home, it takes up so much of your time. And then when you get home, you're kind of too tired to do anything. But his was so demanding that he was always exhausted by the time he got home. So I know that's going to make a huge difference. So we'll be able to, even just in that, be able to grow more of our food, and then be able, for Matt, as far as hunting and fishing goes, harvest more of our food. So I think that'll be a real plus.
Yeah, we can go on day hikes and picnics and film some of that maybe.
Yeah, hopefully we can do that.
Exploring, rock hounding, or not rock hounding, but metal detecting a little maybe with the girls.
Yeah.
Fun stuff.
So what are you most excited about?
Well, of course I want to be able to hunt and fish when I want to, and not have to work around somebody else's schedule, but mostly just not being rushed and not having to get up and be somewhere at a certain time. And I mean, I'm still up early anyway.
Yeah, Matt's still getting up at 4 a.m.
Right. But that time of day, you can get so much stuff done before the sun comes up, or I can, or I feel like that's when I can think the best, that I can just get more done, you know, and I can think more clearly. And I don't have to jump out the door and get in the truck and go somewhere and spend all day long. I can use that same time I would be up anyway for us instead of for somebody else.
Yeah, you don't have to fight the traffic.
Right. And you know, if you get hungry at 9:30 in the morning, you go in there and make a sandwich.
Yeah.
And I'll have to wait and stay hungry until somebody else says you can eat. You know, that sort of thing. It's just having the freedom to do the same things your own way. That's what I'm most excited about, just being able to, and of course being with y'all more, but just having that freedom. That's, to me, that's the most exciting part of it.
Yeah. I think for me, I've already been enjoying that freedom like Matt's talking about, so I know he will enjoy that. But for me, the best part is, of course, just being together as a family, having Matt here, and for me, having his support. This last year has just been tough in lots of ways. And so having him here to do whatever needs to be done to assist me, you know, Corey helps me 2 days a week, and those days are great, but then there's those other days. And then with caring for Miss Cindy, and then now caring for Granny, it's just got tough. And the cookbook, while has been just unbelievably wonderful, it's just added another layer of busyness to our already full busy days. So just having Matt here for support of that, having an assistant, Corey's been my assistant. I think I may have to put Corey, she can be your assistant. How's
Is that right? The assistant to the assistant.
Yeah, Corey, we'll tell Corey she's been demoted. She's going to be the assistant to the assistant.
Okay.
And you get to be the assistant. I'd be like, go get me some, go do something.
Yeah. Get me a coffee.
Yeah, I don't drink coffee. Go get me some Postum. Yeah.
I'll do whatever, you the boss.
No. We are very happy and we're very blessed. We're thankful to God, but we're also thankful to you for helping us achieve this wonderful, wonderful part of our lives.
Absolutely. That it?
I think, unless we forgot some.
I don't think so.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go stay with Granny a while.
Are you?
Yeah. What are we gonna do for supper?
I don't know where you want.
Corey wants to go get ice cream tonight as a family, everybody.
Okay.
So, but we gotta eat first. I don't know what we could eat. We got any
You
thoughts?
want to eat here before that, or?
Oh yeah, I guess.
Or do you want to get something while we're out and then go get ice cream?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I just thought we'd eat here, but we could. I don't know what. Unless she might have had something like that in mind. Austin will be at work, so.
Well, he'll get by then. He'll be off.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I was just thinking logistics. He'll already be in Murphy. So, I don't know.
We could go to Downtown Pizza and eat and then go get ice cream. Something like that. And then not have to cook.
Yeah. Well, let's ask them.
Because I've cooked and slaved for days and I just don't want to do it again.
I think I cooked yesterday.
Did you?
Yeah.
What am I thinking about?
I don't know.
Is it in my head movies?
Yeah, I think you've cooked once since you've been off.
I think I've
Maybe
cooked a
no,
little
you
more
cooked
now.
me breakfast
Yeah.
and supper. Okay, yeah, so you cooked more than I thought. Now I start remembering all these good meals. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. How quickly we forget.
Yeah.
They must not have been that good.
No, they were. They were good. They were very good.
Okay.
That was some rain this morning. That
It was.
thunder never stopped.
It didn't,
It
did it?
was just like somebody just around us, somebody playing a thunder machine
Yeah.
around the house. I kept thinking, okay, now quit for a minute, you know. It just never would stop.
And the lightning really didn't either. Just
Yeah.
for a little while, it was just continuous.
Yeah.
That's another reason I wanted to get up, because I love to get up and sit in the dark living room and watch it and
Yeah.
drink coffee. That's fantastic.
Miss Ruby that I met yesterday called me.
Yeah.
And she said, I said, I guess you had a storm this morning, didn't you? She said, oh, it was a bad one. She said that power went off once or twice, but hers had come back on, but she'd heard a lot of folks down there had their power off. I said, well, we didn't lose power. We did Monday, but not today.
What'd she call you about?
She's just asking me something. She's so sweet. I can't wait for y'all to meet her.
Yeah, I like to meet her. I like those old timers, elderly, full mountain people. They're just hard to beat.
Fantastic and beautiful down there.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to, on the way back, we come through Prospect. You ever heard of that? You ever been down in there?
Yeah.
And there's an old church.
Yeah.
And it's open. We went in it and
been
looked
down there
at
in years.
looked at the graveyard. Really nice. Nicole said when Chris was pastoring down there, not at that church, of course, but at the other where he did, they had something remodeled. I can't remember what it was. And once or twice they come over there and had church.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, but it would be perfect place for Corey and Katie to go film a song.
Nice.
I told Ruby that this morning, and she said she had someone in her family that played the flute, and that it was just when they went to the cemetery and they played there, it just rung out across the mountains.
Oh, yeah.
Made me think of Katie's fiddle would do the same thing. It's pretty though. Lots of Davises, Taylors. See, what was the other name? There was another really Murphys. And then there was a few Hambies in that one. I guess they're related to Justin.
Probably.
Just 2 or 3 gravestones I seen. Some old ones.
Yeah.
Old ones. Yeah. Many of them are just fieldstone.
Yeah.
1 or 2 of those, they've come back and put a stone, modern day stone somebody has, kind of like they do at Hazel Creek. It's really, well, you've seen it before, but it's a steep graveyard, just tucked in there right behind the church. It was really neat though.
Yeah, I like seeing old places.
Yeah. Alright, I guess we better go. I can't believe you ain't saying you come unfed. You just ate though before we come out here.
I've already eaten 2.5 times today, and it's not lunch yet. So I'm not unfed today. Yet. I will be shortly, but I'm good now.
Yeah. Well, what's your next project for today while I go see Granny?
I'm going to look at the weather and see if it's not going to rain anymore. I may work on the driveway again. It washed away again, but when it's wet like this, it's a good time to
Do it.
That way it's not super hard and that blade will bite it with what little machinery I have to work on it with.
It was much better last night when I come up at yesterday.
It's washed out again this morning.
Yeah, that was some rain. I just couldn't get over that thunder though. It just never stopped.
Problem is, we've got to move 16 vehicles now to get the four-wheeler out.
We need a parking lot.
Maybe I can build us a parking deck out over the woods out here. That's what we need.
We used to talk about building a shed over this, remember?
Yeah, and that would be good right there. I mean, it would be like a gardening shed. Put tools and stuff in. We got stuff scattered, good Lord, everywhere. And then you can't find it.
Add it to the list.
Okay.
We need to make like a master list of stuff we want to accomplish.
Okay. Number 1 on the list is man cave.
No, you don't need no man cave.
Why?
If you're in the man cave, you can't be doing all the chores.
I won't be in it all the time. It'll just be a place to escape to when you are less than real nice to me.
I'm always nice to you. You sound like Katie. The Lord wants you to be good to me.
Be good to me, Mama. Lord, that's all the Lord wants you. Be good to me.
Yeah.